Hello, 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 and welcome to the Rag Company podcast. To my left, I've got Anthony.
Hey.
And my right, I've got Levi.
Yes.
And I'm Dane Hennen. All right,
me.
so let's introduce this thing. I believe we're at main show number 44 now.
Yeah,
44.
That's pretty good.
We're no longer addressing numbers. Let's not.
I'm going to say every time.
Not diving into it.
No, it's a familiarity. People like that.
Let's just not analyze the number as we normally do.
You know,
we're already over the hill.
It's just a number.
I've already done it. Anyways, so getting it started. So we had a really busy week last week. Over the weekend, we were busy as well.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on. But let's talk about what we did in our own free time. Levi, take it away. What did you do?
I did nothing.
Oh.
No. So our only free time we had, realistically, was I had a little bit of time Sunday night, which meant I had to give my kids a bath and put them to bed. But my brother-in-law showed up from Utah.
He keeps showing up.
A different one.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, does he just show up unexpected? Or?
This is my wife's brother. Like, the other one was her brother-in-law also. So, her sister's husband. So, this was my brother-in-law who's a school teacher. School's out. His youngest daughter graduated high school. So, him and her drove up while his wife and the rest of the kids and stuff all stayed down. Down in Utah, but so him and his daughter just drove up, and then they left this morning at like 4:30 or 7:30 this morning. So they quick trip, just kind of spent Sunday with us. They showed up Saturday night about 9:00, and then so we just kind of hung out, chatted, and had a good day. Just a lazy Sunday with them, and it was pretty nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so not too bad. Little home stuff, putting together.
There's always something.
Got the exterior of both cars washed.
Okay.
I still need to tackle the interior of my wife's car. Hasn't been clean since before I left for Puerto Rico.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, by the way, interior cleaning, for people who want to hear a good chat about that, our Dylan Von Kleist.
Oh, yeah. Our video,
we did with him.
There's
an awesome, we really get into
it was a good one.
Detailing.
It was a really good, informative podcast.
That.
Yeah.
Just wanted to throw that out there for people who wonder, we don't talk about it a lot, so.
Yeah, sorry, I had to take a drink of my Diet Pepsi there. So
always with
DP.
the Pepsi.
Got my cup back.
Oh, yeah, where was that?
It was at home in a cupboard. I lost a lot of stuff so far in this move that I'm still trying to find. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed last week, I didn't have my headphones with me.
Right.
I could not find them anywhere in my house.
You guys don't understand. He goes everywhere with those things.
Yeah, so I couldn't find my headphones, and I was like, dang it, we're getting ready to leave on this trip for New Jersey next week, and I was like, I really don't want to have to buy another set.
Oh, my God, that's really next week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's next Monday. So we're actually going to be doing the podcast, and then within a few hours after that, we're going to be getting on a plane to fly a red-eye.
Yeah, I can't wait.
And then what Anthony doesn't know is he's going to be driving the rental car right after we land, so you better sleep.
Yeah, we will.
I don't know if I trust him to drive it on
8 hours.
Don't worry, guys, I'll drive it.
No,
you'll be fine.
He's
8 hours of panic, it'll all be fine. Dane, what'd you do over the weekend?
I actually had something I had to do because on Saturday after our clinic, I got in my Volvo, my fun Volvo that we've been doing the series on.
Yeah.
And the engine at low RPM had a little sputter. And, of course, I've never owned a Euro car before, so all the stereotypes in my mind of
you're
God,
like $1,000, here we go.
Problems, here it comes.
$1,500, $2,000.
I've owned domestic and JDM cars mostly, so that was kind of instantly you're going, oh, cha-ching.
Yeah.
But I just ran over to a nearby auto parts store, had him run a code, figure out what the check engine light said, and it was a misfire in cylinder 5. So I was looking at that, I was thinking, you know what, probably get this moving, fix it up, would probably be a spark plug change, because I had... Obviously, the first thing when you buy a used car, unless you're that kind of person, you're probably not tearing the engine apart right away.
Yeah.
So, I opened up the spark plugs, got in there. But the real challenge, the reason it took so long, was just getting the engine cover off. We did that nice video. By the way, we did a video with the engine cleaning, and everything looked super nice and clean. But then I had to take off the cover. Well, you know Torx bolts, those wonderful Torx bolts. So most of them came out. But one of them decided to round itself, and it just filed itself down, and it didn't want to come out. So it was lodged in there, and it was totally just not happening. I tried an Allen key. I tried a little tap, didn't really do the trick. So what I ended up doing, I'm afraid to admit, I took a chisel and basically just lightly tap my way around the plastic and cut the plastic of the cover, because I found out the cover's only like $30, so I'll probably replace it.
Yeah.
But I basically had to cut the plastic and the hole around it because I couldn't get a little, tiny circular saw with like a rotary tool or something to get in there and create a line for like a flat head. I actually had to just sacrifice it. So you can't tell looking at it because it's a recessed hole. It's just, the bolt's still there. So,
still one of those struggles of working on a car, how I think everybody can agree that nothing ever goes according to plan.
Yeah.
Like you could change your oil and something will happen and you're like, oh.
But I'm really happy because if this was like 10 years ago, I wouldn't have been very mechanically adept at all. Like, I love cars, had encyclopedic knowledge of all these things, but I didn't know how to work on them. So buying that Miata really taught me a lot. And now I knew what to do immediately when something was wrong. I was like, okay, here's the list of things. And you go down the list and you figure out what to do.
That's awesome.
So, spark plugs. I also found out that, gapping spark plugs is always a challenge because I took it for granted in the past where I got ones that were already pre-gapped just right for the car I was working on.
Aren't you fancy?
In this case,
I see how it is.
They were not. And the gap is actually... The gap is really tiny on this Volvo T5 engine. You need to go down to like, what is it, 0.026 to 0.028. That's your like sweet spot. And you got the little puck that you measure the gap and everything.
Yeah, I've always pre-gapped mine myself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm all about the gap.
And you think it would be a quick procedure unless you get
Never
some
done it
plugs
before.
that do not want to bend. And,
you don't have to bend them that much.
Mine were at like 0.04, so they had a ways to go. So I basically
I tried putting them on
a wooden bench, and I kind of placed it, and I was like, bend it, nope, not working. So I lightly took a hammer and just kind of knocked it out and eventually got it right. But when I pulled out the plugs that were already in there, I discovered none of them were correctly gapped. Whoever put in the ones
So does your car
that,
run like a supercar now? It's like...
It's way smoother
tons
now.
of power, fires right up on instant.
It's real nice. And when I pulled out the spark plug from cylinder 5, sure enough, with the misfire, it was like white and corroded on the side. And I was like, okay. Yeah, so learning things.
Yeah.
Right? And that was fun. But I got
I hand gap my plugs. And when I did the Elantra, I made sure that those new Iridian tipped, ones that have the. I got those
cool.
split fire ones that put like 3.
You run like 5 steps cooler because of the turbo.
Well, and you have to do that when you have a vehicle such as the Elantra. It's just something that happens.
So he's just looking out, that one step colder thing. If you add mods, you
got to do that stuff. I mean, that's where you get horsepower. That's where you get it. So
but now I'm just happy to say it's consistent, runs smoothly.
Nice.
Check engine light's still on though, so I got to run the stupid little
preset thing.
Clear that out. So anyway, that was my weekend.
Nice.
I guess it's my turn now.
Yeah, your turn.
Everybody's looking at me and pressuring me.
I heard he did a thing.
So if you guys remember right, like a couple podcasts ago, like 15 of ago, I picked up.
Those of you that listen religiously,
and there is some people
the OG
that do.
subscribers.
I remember I picked up new wheels for the Evo.
Yeah.
Remember how I picked up those newer wheels, and so the wheels I picked up were a wider wheel, an inch and a half wider than stock, and they were a lower offset, so they're 25 offset, so they have a little bit more poke to them. And remember when I was telling you guys, I got these wheels, but I think I'm going to have to roll the fenders or do something to make them fit right. And so
it was still winter, so you couldn't.
Yeah, I couldn't really go and do anything crazy. No. So I threw them on, and I've kind of been modestly driving to and from work some days, trying to take it easy and around corners and things like that.
Yeah, you don't try and jump it. No one's allowed to ride in your car because you don't want the weight bias to roll the fenders.
Just throws everything off.
I know what you mean.
He's picky.
So so I didn't roll the fenders.
Stuffing hockey pucks in your springs to keep them from sagging too much.
Like, wow, that ride's really
that's kind of dangerous.
I just need to roll the fenders. It's only temporary.
That's so horrible. So I've been just taking it easy, and but now that it's summertime, I said, okay, I think it's time to, I come to the conclusion of what I'm going to have to do. And so a big thing that people do is roll the fenders. And for most cars, like 90% of the time, that's a total easy thing to do. Most people are understandable and just do it anyways. But I explained this before, I think, like that on the Evo, the fenders are a 2-ply sheet metal. And so when you roll that fender lip, there is a pinch weld right between that piece of sheet metal. So there's like a 50% chance, even if you do everything right, won't crack, but it'll buckle in the outside piece of sheet metal, causing this weird dent-looking thing on the outside quarter. So it just doesn't look good, and it changes the complete body lines of the car, and it's a total stressful thing. And most places that do a good job that don't do that, they take like 6 hours on the fenders, like 3 hours on each one, warming it up and doing it properly without cracking the paint or causing that to cave in. So, me in my head, I'm like, we don't have any. We live in Idaho. Let's just.
We don't have fancy roller shops that just specialize in rolling fenders.
Yeah, we don't. That's not something we have here.
If anybody would like to move down to Boise and open a business, you'd probably make some good money because you'd be the only person rolling fenders in the state.
There is a car scene here, so
yeah. It's one of those things where I either had to roll the fenders, or a lot of people what they'll do is they'll
get a baseball bat.
They'll trim the fender, or they'll get like a Dremel or some type of like circular saw, and they'll cut it. Do a professional job. But the other problem with that there too is that once you cut that, it separates that piece of
so now it's two pieces.
So now it's not as rigid, and then you have a concern that it could rust. So you have to seal it and close it properly.
And then you get rattle.
It's a whole ordeal where it's like I've been thinking about this for months, just like stewing on like.
And when we say Anthony's been thinking about this for months, this is probably. You worry about this more than your fiance worries about the wedding.
Yeah, this is like 10% of my thought process has been going towards this, because it's one of those things where it really bothers me to think that I could either have a dent in my quarter panel that you can't PDR it, you would have to actually get it done by a body shop and get it fixed, or I cut the fenders, or then next thing you know it's no longer a stock body, or I don't know. It just my OCD kicks in. So anyway, I was like, you know what? Screw it, dude. I'm just taking my car up to a mountain. I'm going up to Bogus Basin. I'm going to go rip around some corners and just see what it does.
Magically roll your fenders that way.
Field testing.
Just kind of like if it, so what I did is I took 5 layers of electrical tape and put it around my fender lips. So I'm like, well, if it rubs, I'll know where it rubs because I'll see a mark there. And if I have to cut it or roll it, whatever, in that area, I will. So I took it up, really hucked it into some corners, did some speed limits I can't say on here, but did some things. Got to the very top, was like, all right, let's see what kind of damage it was. I didn't hear anything. I walk out, and I didn't rub once.
Nice.
No marks, no
Success.
nothing.
Nice.
And so I was thinking to myself, well, this is probably the most I'm ever going to push this car, is doing things like this. And if it doesn't rub with just me in the car, I don't know if another person would have changed that. Then I'm like, why else?
You may bring my kids. We can put them in the back seat.
I think they're light enough. I don't know if they'll make a difference. I think if you sat in the back seat.
My brother can come. I've got my brother Seth. He can come help you.
He's a big boy. Yeah.
He will throw it off very well for you. You're like, ah.
So I was just super pumped on that. That was like one of those things I've been stressing about that I don't have to worry about. Now I know that I can take it on turns. It doesn't matter. I could daily drive it, never going to have an issue. The only thing that would change is if I had people in the back seat, but the Evo is more like a 2-seater rather than a 5-seater. People don't usually ride back there. So I was happy to find that out. Functional ride height. You got some stiff springs on there, and the wheels work. So I am a happy camper.
I took Dylan Saturday night. I took him to do a little canyon carving in the Elantra.
You did do that.
Unleashed the power of the Elantra for him.
Oh, man.
And we went up to Lucky Peak.
Nice.
Went up to the top of the dam and back down.
Did you ever replace the struts, or are they still on the stock struts?
No, it's still on the stock struts.
Okay, so it has this really cool
feature. We took some speed bumps pretty fast. So everyone knows.
These struts have these really advanced things to where it knows when it hits the bottom, so it kind of has a stopper there.
Yeah.
So you get a good clunk feeling.
Yeah. No, we didn't hit the. You don't hit the bottom.
In a Hyundai to tell you.
No,
you don't hit the bottom. There's a stopper there.
Yeah. No, we didn't hit the bottom. It just you didn't feel the bumps.
Yeah.
We just hit speed bumps at 70 miles an hour.
It's a high-performance machine, but it's also a cloud.
It rides amazing. We discussed that. We actually, when we were driving the Elantra back, Dylan said that. He goes, I realized how much better this car rides than Dane's Volvo.
Yeah.
The young Dylan von Kleist would have enjoyed the Volvo immensely.
I warned people before they get in.
The older Dylan, who's the same age as me, was like, man, that car that beats you up. And I was like, well, they can't all be Elantras.
That's the thing. I have to compensate with the seats, the super comfy seats, because the ride is...
Oh, I have impeccable seats as well in the Elantra. The difference is I run a unique wheel and tire combination on it.
That's true. He does.
So I'm running a 16-inch wheel with a 50 series tire.
Yeah.
So, and then the car is lowered on some H&R springs.
High performance.
So you match the springs with the blown out struts,
It's just
And then the 50 series
harmony.
tire. It's a 215, 50, R16 on there.
a match made.
It's a
in heaven.
Mastercraft.
Which
On that.
those were master crafted. I mean, because
I'm the master of shine. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
So,
All this master
but
talk.
there is some thought. I want something that handles well, gets a little grip, gets a little action, gets a little bite like Anthony likes in his Evo.
yeah, we'll
But
slip
I
in
also,
a little grip though.
but
yeah.
a little slipping and a little gripping.
Yeah.
But I also need to have a little comfort at the same time.
What he's trying to say is there's a fine line between broken in and just broken.
That's true. Yeah. No, I'm right at the limit.
Yeah.
I'm right at that limit.
Yeah, and it's better than ever. So very cool. Anyway, so moving on, guys. So if you guys didn't know this, last week was our Rupes takeover week, where Dylan Von Kleist came down on Thursday and hung out with us all the way through Sunday.
Yeah.
We had our Rupes open house here at TRC, which was a blast.
It was a good turnout.
We'll talk about that here in a second, but Dylan came down. We did some detox, so you have those to look forward to in the future.
We did some podcasts, which
Did some
are one's
podcasts.
out already. The other one is
we got 2 out on Shout Engine.
So-
The video version of that second one will be coming out today, I believe.
Yeah.
And
So
then
check
this
those out.
will come out tomorrow, which for people listening will be today.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we have a small short live stream that we did from the clinic itself. So Dane did that, and we also have a video.
So go on
sure,
YouTube,
pawn that
check
off
all
on
those
me.
out.
Yeah. So we have a Facebook video as well that
Yeah.
turned out really cool, and so you can check us out. I mean, it's basically it was just a hangout, and I mean
Yeah.
Levi can kind of describe what we did that
We-
morning.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a step-by-step of the week here.
Oh, okay.
So
Break it
Thursday
down.
afternoon, or Thursday, we spent the whole day cleaning and getting the warehouse ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was fabbing up airlines. You guys, you were organizing
floors.
days.
Because it's a shared space.
Yeah,
The
we had to
warehouse
clean
and
the
studio
floors.
gotta
We
work
had
in
to.
harmony.
You and Tim put together one of the new hood racks.
Yep.
We had to do a lot to get the place ready for not only shooting detox, but also to do for the event on Saturday. And so it was a busy day of that. Dylan flew in the afternoon about 2:30. I picked him up, came back to the studio here. We did a podcast with him. Then we all went to dinner. We went to the Bitter Creek Ale House
Delicious.
and had some burgers and some. What Dylan? You had a salad.
So I knew people were going to call me out on that eventually.
I was a little
and I knew,
confused by that.
and I
You're
knew-
drinking whiskey sours and eating salad.
See, I was getting my carbs in from the drink rather than the food itself, and it was a salad. It was a trout salad.
It was a trout salad.
And I thought it would be like a fresh trout salad, but it was like a canned trout salad,
Womp
like you know what I mean, like
womp.
literally out of like a tin can. I was a little
Yeah. What did you have, Dane?
discouraged.
I'm trying to remember now.
You had a burger.
I did. I had their. I had like their Western style burger. So
I had their Huntsman burger.
Right. Yeah. You had like
And-
cheese sauce. And,
Yeah. And
Well,
and then
that's-
Dylan didn't want to get a burger because he saw he was like, oh, I don't know, that burger's pretty big. I'm
And
going
then
to
he
get the
got
pulled
that
pork sandwich
beast.
that was
That was a
bigger
beast.
than Dane and I's burgers put together.
Yeah. It was crazy.
I think he ate half of it because
Yeah.
it was like 2 burgers put
And
together.
I feel bad, like
I only
on
ate
the
half
trout
of
salad
mine.
you're set up there because normally this place is known for being like really high quality, really nice stuff. So
Yeah,
hearing
super
that just
fresh.
bumps me
Everything's
out.
like everything they get is like
Yeah.
local and fresh. They have a worm farm underground, under
they
the
really?
house. Yeah, underneath the basement.
Yeah, so I
They-
wouldn't want
they
to
have
throw
worm
those guys
farm.
under the bus. It's just
Because
a
they
dud,
they
and then
compost and
case.
recycle it, and then they grow worms, and I don't know
And
if
then
they sell them or
feed
feed
it to
them or
their
what.
canned trout.
Yeah,
is
they
what
feed them to the canned trout.
Well, and Dylan was stoked about his beer. What was that called again?
God, I don't know, but it was
It
some
was
sweet.
some kind of ninja assassin.
Yeah, it
type
was like
thing.
ninja something.
Yeah, the whiskey sours were good though. I did like those because they serve it with those blocked ice cubes, like the big
big
squares,
It's almost like a regular ice cube.
but large, but the size of the glass.
It's in the shape of a square or
The
rectangle
same way that a
kind of
Fiat
thing.
500 is a Suburban.
Yeah.
Well,
basically.
we were talking about how like visually it's just bigger, but we're like mentally it makes us feel like the drink
Like it's
tastes
fancy.
better.
Yeah,
You feel
makes you look
classy.
fancy.
Yeah, like those round ice cubes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so that was that, and we took Dylan back to his hotel that night. Called it kind of early because you were already getting kind of sloppy, and it was only like 6:30.
What?
Whoa.
What did I do? No, I had to go home because I was going to a.
He had responsibility.
He did have responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
The
I did,
pets
yeah.
needed out.
Yeah.
So
And then Saturday, Friday morning, picked him up. we came in. Dylan and I basically did office work. Did some orders. He did some stuff. Then you guys came in, and then we just shot detox all day.
Yeah.
Did some fun videos. Did some Instagram posts. Did some stuff like that. And then
there were some fun ones in that mix.
Yeah. And then Friday night, you guys all went to dinner.
Yeah.
And you talk about that. Where'd you guys go? Take a drink.
As I'm like brain dead, put on the spot. Now I don't even remember where we went. Where did we go?
It was Friday night. Anthony, you couldn't go, and I couldn't go.
Yeah.
So
you guys went somewhere also downtown.
It was you and your mom and dad.
I totally spaced there. Sorry, I was like got all my days mixed up because it's just kind of a blur.
We're on Friday.
Basically, yeah. So we went to 10 Barrel.
Nice. Yes.
So we went downtown to 10 Barrel, and there was a moment there which was kind of funny where Dylan and I both had glasses and a 10 Barrel glass. I had the beer or whatever, but the beer had gone down just to such a level, and the sunlight was hitting it in just such a way that we're
you
both
can go on to
going,
Dylan's Instagram and Dane's Instagram, Great Dane Films.
Yeah.
And check these photos out.
I even got Jeff Gluck from Hooniverse to comment on mine.
Nice.
Like, wow, cool shot.
Nice.
So I felt pretty good about that. But basically, it was just the letters from the sunlight were cast onto the layer of.
It was pretty cool. When
cool
you guys
looking.
posed, I was like, oh, I didn't even know that could happen.
But it was funny because we hadn't really thought about it, and suddenly we're looking down because the sun's going down. It's like, oh, look at that. And Dylan's like, okay, as marketers, if we don't take a picture of this, we don't deserve our jobs.
Yeah.
So basically, we had to, plug
Did
out
you
of
tag
it.
them? Did you
So,
say, hey?
yeah.
You should have tagged them and say, hey, use this. I will sell you this photo for a free beer.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a sleaze, so I didn't.
Oh,
So is that all you did? Just took him to dinner?
Basically
you
took
and
him to
Corey didn't
dinner.
go out and get drunk?
And then, no, God, no. And then
They're
Corey,
classy
my little
people,
brother, and I, we
Levi.
took him out to a Prost after that.
Oh.
Whoa.
They did. So
We
you
went-
did drink some
No,
more.
we had a beer.
Oh, just one more.
And then-
Okay.
No, it was a light night. It wasn't,
Hey.
We just do like the quote.
No, our thing was mostly making fun of the people next to us
Oh,
who
okay.
decided to get full-on boots of beer.
Oh.
And
Das Boot, man.
it was literally the glass boot, the whole thing. And it was warm before they were even halfway down the thing. But
Yeah,
I've had
nice.
I've had a couple of beer boot experiences, and they were never good. I mean, like the end result wasn't good, but the time of drinking it was a great time.
it's because by the time you get anywhere near it, it's getting warm, and unless you're into warm beer,
Oh yeah, no, like nobody wants to drink the soul of that boot. Like that's the backwash and
That's why you
everything
chug it.
else.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Anyway.
So that was Friday.
Then Saturday
Yeah.
morning we woke up nice and early because our
Yeah, we
event
did.
started at 9 a.m.
Yep.
We headed in 8 o'clock, got everything finished, set up, and then we got started about 9:10
Yeah.
or so.
And the Mevo was working about as expected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mevo is as amazing as it as always
we
is.
love the Mevo. It's my
In case you're
favorite
wondering
thing.
why it looks like there's 15 different cuts at the beginning of that live stream, it was working perfectly before, and as soon as you tell it, hey, we're going to really do the event now, and suddenly it's just like, "Wah."
Can we
Yeah.
talk about this for a second? So
So
the
Mevo, if you're listening,
Yeah.
company that manufactures that piece of equipment,
yeah, like
Anthony's got some things that needs to be said.
Here's the thing, right? We saw that for the first time. Randy Doyle had one, and he saw it. He showed it to us. He's like, "Look how cool this is," and we agreed. And we said, "That's awesome.
That is great.
That looks really cool."
This is a
live
camera,
live
streaming camera that mounts on a tripod that will track, will follow, will do all kinds of stuff. Basically, like a drone that is stationary.
And it can create the illusion of having multiple cameras
Yep.
by using a super wide field of view, and then you just frame what you want to be.
Everything
a
it says
camera.
is amazing.
And it is
yeah.
in theory and in general concept, it is
Right.
a very cool thing. It's just a little buggy.
With that said, yeah, there's a lot of kinks. A little buggy, Dane. I'm talking a lot of buggy.
I'm
There's a
being
lot of
charitable.
kinks in that piece of equipment, and we really want it to work, but I think it's more of a software issue rather
Yeah.
than like a physical issue. And I think that Mevo themselves have to work those things out, and if they do, perfect. It's going to be an awesome little tool to use, and we want to use it. It's just as of this point in time, it is not our most reliable source.
And
of
to put it
footage.
clear, there's lots of people who are like, well, why don't you just live stream from your phone? And yeah, you could do that, and I could get good quality. I mean, I got an 8+. I could do it that way, but really, the Mevo was set to be kind of the thing. And
Well, in the Mevo, we
issue
can
is-
set and just forget it.
Yeah,
let
exactly.
it run.
It goes up on
do
a
its
stand,
thing.
Ideally.
independent, and you can just tell it to cycle through. It can basically program itself to just cycle through the different and that makes it great. I think it's better for like a stationary presentation kind of environment though, where you can get those different angles and somebody presenting. But in the sort of environment where we've got it, where there's like people walking around to different hoods and stuff like that.
So what you're saying is we need 2 Mevos.
We need to expand our or somehow
not
get the
Mevos.
cameras to communicate in like a broadcast type system. This is all I'm just spitballing, thinking out loud here.
This is what he does, folks.
This is
you're
what I
gonna
do.
taste into Dane's brain.
This is like shower thoughts. When you're talking and suddenly, oh, here it is. But it's basically that. So yeah, I could shoot stuff with the phone, but the reason the Mevo was attractive was because you could pipe in audio from like speaker systems and stuff like that. So the audio was actually very good this time with Dylan talking on the headset and everything like we had set up. It looked and sounded great. It's just working out the kinks of, he turns the mic off. Now we have to go to native audio from the Mevo, and then it's own thing. So anyway,
but that was good. So you can check out on the YouTube, you can check out the live video on the Mevo.
2 hours.
If you want to watch some of the event, that went on until 2, and we had a good group, a core group, a group of detailers that actually wanted to work on the tools, play with the tools.
Yeah.
The Rotary got a ton of seat time. A lot of people use that.
I was impressed at how quiet it was.
Super quiet, super easy, low vibrate. It's flawless. The Melee, tons of people played with the Melee.
Yeah.
We had the new triple action
That's such
as
a
well.
fun tool.
Just so you guys know, we were probably the only place outside of Denver that debuted it. So,
well, he was pointing out, he goes, this is the only one in the country of this.
Yeah. And so that's pretty cool. So really kind of a fun event that we got to host, and we got a lot of people. Some guys came, a guy came from Seattle.
Yeah.
And then we just had our normal crew. We had some, Juan from Idaho Falls, and
he dropped in on the second Dylan podcast.
He did drop in on the second Dylan podcast before he left. So if you guys want, you can check that out. And then, good event. Then we came upstairs, did an SV test with Juan. So for the IDA,
that's why I popped in the door.
That was why he was there. And then we did our podcast. Then after the podcast, I took Dylan to back to his hotel, dropped him off so he could change and all that. Talk to hang out, make some phone calls, and then I headed home, changed my clothes, then went back over to the hotel, picked him up, and then brought him to meet my wife and kids at Boise Fry Company.
Nice.
So we had some burgers and some fries again. And for those of you that don't know, Boise Fry Company specializes in potatoes, and they make all different types of French fries. And they have one version called the bourgeois.
The bougie fries. Those are so good.
The bougie fries. And it is fried in duck fat.
Yeah.
Delicious. Yeah.
And covered in truffle salt.
It's absurdly good.
Unbelievable. And then they have all different types of dips. They have all different types of salts.
The way those guys treat it,
stuff.
they're called Boise Fry Company because, you think, it's like a burger restaurant. Well, the burgers are like the fries are somewhere else. So basically,
the fries are the main point.
So much variety.
Yeah, the burgers are on the side.
Yeah,
so
that's their
mantra. But it's fun because we were down in Bound Crossing. We got to eat, sit outside. Had a good weather, was perfect on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Then we took Dylan over to Craven's, the candy store down there. Kids got some candy. Watched my kids, get gummies, and
here comes the sugar high.
Yeah, and then they got a bunch of different like gummy worms and gummy fried eggs and gummy sharks and all that stuff. And then Dylan and I got some gelato.
Nice.
And then with my wife and the dog and the kids, we just went for a walk down on the green belt there.
Super nice.
Took him down to the river and showed him. When we did that, till my daughter got a sliver in her thumb that went under her nail.
Ooh,
we don't know how she got it. So then took her back home and then dropped her off.
Probably just like
my wife took care of that.
Took her home, left her at home.
Yeah, no, my
moved
wife
on with her night.
My wife took care of that. I took Dylan back to his hotel, and then I headed back and just spent, getting the house ready and clean, kids in bed, and all that kind of stuff before my brother-in-law showed up, and then so that was my Saturday night, and then
Sunday morning,
Anthony
you guys
took it Sunday morning.
You guys missed out because I got free breakfast with your parents. And,
Goldie's is amazing.
Goldie's. So Goldie's is a little hole in the wall breakfast place.
Not a hole in the wall, but it is technically
such a small place.
It's technically a hole in the wall.
It's so
It literally is very small. It's like
a door in the wall.
It's more of a door in the wall.
So,
but it's a world-renowned.
It's like this room, but 2 stories.
Brunch restaurant that they literally. You show up, you tell them how many people are going to be there. They take your cell phone number and they go, well, walk around the city if you like. We'll give you a call when your table's ready.
Yep. Yeah. It can take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. You never really know. But it's a place that's packed from the moment it's opened to the moment they close. And they do breakfast only there. And, yeah, it's like a 2-story. I don't really know how to describe it. It's really small.
It's got like a loft inside. And it's a very small loft, but it's one of those in-the-know kind of places.
Yeah. So we met there bright and early. And by bright and early, I mean like at 7:30. So I woke. I was up until like 3 o'clock in the morning that last night.
But you got up because it was free Goldies.
And I was like, I woke up at 7, like 4 hours of sleep. Totally worth it. So drove down there, met Dylan and Carolyn and Jeff, and then Dane's brother. And we went. Ordered food. We got some awesome stuff. I got the caramelized. It's like the caramelized banana, like French, like stuffed French toast, whatever that's called. It's like a caramel walnut. I can't remember what it is, but it's like one of their best sellers. And so we did that. We got bacon as well, and everybody got good food. We had a good conversation. Talked about business. Talked about the whole detailing industry as a whole. And then after that, we kind of just said our goodbyes. Walked Dylan back to his hotel. Dylan
said he stopped at Taters and picked up some stuffed potatoes for his kids.
Yeah.
Some like stuffed animal potatoes.
He was asking us at the table. He's like, "Well, what do you guys know of any other good Idaho souvenirs? Anything that has to do with like a potato?" And that's when, of course, being an Idahoan, the first thing you think about is the Idaho Spud, which is a piece of candy.
I showed him those.
And they're absolutely horrible. I think I've met one person in the world that actually likes the way these things taste. And
I actually like them. It's a weird flavor.
It's
not something that I'm gonna like. If it's my go-to, like
refresh my memory. What goes into it? It's like marshmallow.
It's a bunch of marshmallow, chocolate, and coconut.
Coconut, yeah. And
these have been made. Also, these have been made for a century.
Yeah,
they're not a new thing.
Yeah, no. And I've always thought that they weren't good to scare people away from Idaho. Like, I thought, because you give them to anybody else, they're like, that's disgusting. Is that what Idaho's like? And everybody's like, yes, don't move.
Let's just put it this way. If you want Depression-era candy, purchase from the Idaho Candy Company. They'll sell you circus peanuts. They'll sell you butter toffee beans.
We stopped advancing after that.
They'll sell you, like, their whole candy line is literally like Grapes of Wrath, Depression-era candy.
We have to import gummies, and we have to do everything else to get things here. But
Steinbeck is a creative.
But I said that because they had them at the candy store, and I was like, this is, and he's like, oh, that's wild. I was like, they're literally, you walk out the door where I've been picking you up every morning, I'm parking next to their warehouse.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I was like, and that warehouse is where they've been making candy for 100 years.
See, it's funny. You hate them. You like them. I'm like 50-50. I've had ones where I was like, oh, okay. And then other times where I was like, I'm not feeling this.
And I'm the same way. Like, I've had it, and I'm like, oh, my gosh, that's like the greatest thing. Why don't I eat more of these?
Because I like.
And then I eat another one, and I'm like, that was, I'm not ever going to eat them again.
Almond Joy Mounts, totally awesome.
Yeah.
And like the Spud would be like a natural extension of that, but
it's something. I think maybe we should take some to New Jersey with us.
I think we should, and like pass them out to people.
We should pass them out.
Well, because
we can buy like a case.
Because the cases don't sell here, so we can buy them.
I think we'd lose a lot of fans.
We should take them as gifts.
So here's an Eagle Edgeless, and here's an Idaho Spud.
Here's what we think of you.
Yeah.
Free Idaho Spud bars. Pick them up. They are ones with candy. We start throwing them out at the event.
Yeah. No,
like T-shirts.
They are not good. Anybody that, I don't know.
We just make a basket of candy, like, help yourself. People are like, that is the gross candy, guys. Why do you have circus peanuts there? They're orange marshmallows. I don't know. They're called circus peanuts.
I was about to ask, you said gummy fried eggs. What do those taste like?
They taste like, I think they're
like a gummy fried egg. They just taste like a gummy.
They don't actually.
I was gonna say if they taste like a gummy fried, that's disgusting.
Whatever a gummy tastes like, I don't know.
Fried eggs are awesome, but gummy fried eggs.
Detailing, thanks.
Yeah, this is a detailing podcast.
So anyways, you're talking about New Jersey, right? We might bring these Idaho Spuds to New Jersey because we're going to New Jersey for a reason, right?
Detailersdomain.com open house.
Woo! Woo!
Yeah.
So
Party!
Friday and Saturday. Friday, there's already the spots are all sold out. But Saturday is the big open house. We hope we're going to see a bunch of you guys on the East Coast over there.
Yeah, we'll
come
throw
see
a
us.
caveat on that. We won't be there the whole time. We'll be there for most of the morning and into the early afternoon.
Yeah, and then we got to fly home.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna
but
so
everybody
get there
is,
early if
but
you wanna
everybody
see
is flying home about the same time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that'll be good. We're excited to have everybody come see us. We have built a little road trip for ourselves.
Yeah. We got some stuff going on.
We're going to try. So we've already got it confirmed. We're going to hook up with Phantom Works. We're going to drive down. So we're going to land Tuesday morning, which is going to be awesome. We're going to land at like 8 a.m. in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And then we're going to rent a car.
Yeah.
And we're going to get in that car and we're going to drive 6 hours to Virginia.
Yep.
I've never been to Virginia, but I'm excited.
I'm excited for the road trip because we're going to be super punchy drunk and we're all going to be taking turns because not all of us are going to be able to drive for more than a few hours at a time.
East Coast listeners, is it just my imagination or do you have some like really insane like speed laws? Like they really crack down on people?
Dane thinks they are. I told him I'm going to put it to the metal. I'm going to see how many speeding tickets I think
Rhode Island, I think Maryland, I think West Virginia, I think those places, and I think
Dane's not allowed to drive.
They got cops who really crack down on people who speed over there, and it gets ugly. So I'm just putting it out there. I thought that's how.
I'm sending a warning out to all the police officers and all the different commonwealths. Don't pull me over.
Well, like this is how it would happen though. Like
it's
you
just
guys,
I know
you guys would both
are a little more.
Like you guys would both get in an argument saying, "Dane, you need to drive faster," and then he'd be saying, "Levi, you need to drive slower," right? So what would happen is Levi would be a speed demon and he would speed the entire time and not get pulled over once. Then Dane would jump in and he'd be like, "Dane, punch it for like just a second, go 5 miles an hour over," and Dane would get the ticket, and it would be the best story ever. Just saying.
I have recurring nightmares of such a in my own cars around here. I know what's going on, so I have no problem being a little more enthusiastic. But man, when I'm somewhere else and I don't know the lay of the land perfectly, I just play it safe. Sorry, I'm boring that way.
Dane hot rods sometimes.
Dane hot rods. Just be careful.
I will. Make no mistake, I will.
He'll get on it.
I'll knock the tail out in the Miata. You look out.
Yeah.
So anyway,
we're gonna head down to Virginia. We're gonna hook up with. We're gonna stay the night there. Grab ourselves a hotel. We'll probably go grab dinner with Connor, their marketing director.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Maybe grab some drinks or something, and then Diet Pepsi for myself. And then that morning we're gonna head over and do the tour. That way we can check the place out. Hang out, see what's up, have fun, check out, see where they're using our towels, see our cool sign that we have that's in there.
Yeah,
they've got a couple of those signs in their shop. So we're excited to come. So we're excited to go check that place out. I got to get my dad a T-shirt. It's my dad's favorite show.
You gotta.
So that'll be my Father's Day gift to him when I get back. And then so we're excited. It'll be fun. Then we're gonna drive back.
Because we got stuff to do.
So we got stuff to do. We got to drive back up to New Jersey.
We went to Jersey just so we could leave and come back.
And then we're going to hook up, hopefully, with Rob Freddy.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
And at Gotham Supercars.
Yeah.
And probably do some YouTube stuff with him. If any of our listeners or friends or anybody that's down there that wants to hook up Wednesday night with us, we're going to be...
We're kind of playing that
We're kind of totally playing by the ear. We may go somewhere for dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't really know. Then Thursday is when everybody else starts coming in.
Yeah.
And us and the rest of the Rupes guys are all staying at the same hotel, so that'll be fun. So
That's
Dylan and Nick and Jeremy will all be there, so we'll have some fun there. And then we're basically going to be doing the rest of the weekend is with Detailer's Domain.
Yeah.
And the Rupes guys, and we're just going to be having a lot of fun. Friday's going to be the open house, and Friday's the classes.
Yeah.
Saturday's the open house, so we've got to get our microfiber presentation done as well that we're going to be doing. And so super excited. I'm just really stoked that it's going to be a good week.
Yeah.
It's going to be a crazy week this week because we got to get a bunch of stuff done because we fly out Monday.
I assume on the microfiber thing, you guys are you're presenting.
No, Dane, that's all you. No, you're presenting the whole thing.
Well, who's going to film it?
I am.
Yeah.
Because that makes
Dane,
sense.
Dane, you're really counting on you to do
that. You're the prince of the rag company.
This is what happens. It comes back on me at the very end, and it's all just...
No, we're just kidding.
No, I'll do the presentations. Totally fine. Anthony can just jump in and say stuff, and you can just film and stay
I'm
behind.
going to be the
really
hype man
prepared,
in the
guys.
background, like
We'll
right when
get
he
you
says
an airline.
something. Yeah. And be like, can he stop doing that? I'm like, no.
It's only an hour.
More.
It's only an
Literally my
hour.
job.
We're, because they're going to do, Rupes is going to do their stuff. We're going to do ours for like an hour, and then Larry's going to do something for
I'm going to be running around like
so.
stealth recording everybody's stuff, not just ours. So
Yeah.
I'll get Larry, I'll get, Dylan, and I'll get Rupes and all that stuff. So that'll be fun. We'll have lots of coverage.
Yeah,
in
it'll
my
be
spare
fun.
time, you'll find me at the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
I'm going to be, oiling myself up,
Lifting weights.
I think half our audience kind of expected that out of you. You
I
just
hear
give
that's
off
the-
that vibe.
I hear that's the place to go, though, right? The Jersey Shore. Have you guys ever seen
Anthony,
that?
you would hear
you guys
that.
ever
a
see that
documentary on MTV called The Jersey Shore.
Well, did you ever see that episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they go to
yeah.
the Jersey Shore and it's just like broken glass and stray dogs everywhere?
I just want to run
Bums under the deck.
That's my favorite episode. If you haven't
Rum
seen
ham.
if you haven't seen that episode, it's probably the best It's Always Sunny
It's one of the favorites
video I've ever
episodes.
seen.
Yeah.
But
man.
that's a good one. So anyway, we'll have a lot to do. I think it'll be fun. The footage is going to be cool. We always love doing our travel vlogs and doing things like that. So
Please
I know,
watch them.
I know we'll try to put together something like that for you guys as well.
But it's going to be fun. We're excited. And then we get back, we've got to get finished with our interior stuff that we're doing on the Volvo.
That Volvo series.
Well, we can do paint
ongoing.
correction. We can do we can do a lot. We can start on the interior, or we can start doing paint correction for folks.
Yeah.
And then after that, we can restore the trim, do all that stuff.
We've got a
There's
lot to
lots of
do.
stuff.
So that'll be.
We did do the engine bay, though.
We did do the engine bay last week, so that was nice. We were
know
able
some
to get
people
all
were-
that finished, and just in time for Dane to change his spark plugs.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're welcome, Dane, for
Thank
getting
you
that all
very
cleaned
much.
up for
It
you.
made it a lot easier to work in
Yeah.
there without turning
imagine.
totally,
Yeah.
But
So-
no, I know a lot of people were curious to see how you clean it and stuff. And you made quick work of it. I was impressed at how efficient you were.
Yeah, and then we'll do same thing with the interior stuff. I'm gonna we'll show some of the efficiencies in that and how I try and do stuff so that I'm not making more work for myself.
Yeah. Well, I know some people were, a few guys on Reddit were saying, I'm really curious to see how Levi tackles the interior in that, because I'm just posing as the guy. I was just working recently on like a Volvo S40 that has the same interior where it's that kind of leather cloth.
I hate that fabric.
It's not a nice fabric.
It's a
to
weird
work on.
fabric to work on. So we'll address that.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. I'm looking at maybe buying a little pickup.
Ooh.
Like a little S10 or Sonoma.
Yeah.
So I've been looking at those. I'm going to try and do something this week.
I thought I heard whispers of Comanche somewhere. Or something.
I'm thinking about Comanches too, but it's just a lot harder to find them.
Because you got Jeep in your blood.
I know. So that's the hard part, is like I could, but that's more of the one I'd buy. I'd probably be more of a project.
It's hard to find
Where
a good
a little
condition one.
S10, I could just drive it for a couple of years and flip it if I
S10s
needed
are
to.
everywhere.
Clean it up, make it look nice. So I've been looking at that. So that's one thing I'm thinking of too, is because there's two that I'm looking at, and one's in a little bit better shape, but the other one's already lowered.
No.
Okay.
But the paint's like shot on it. But
which-
then I thought I could just flat black the whole thing and be all right.
Which generation S10 are we looking at here?
An S10.
What year?
Well, I mean, they made S10s from 1980, like 4 or
Yeah,
5
no, it'd be
up
like
until-
the late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
Okay.
So I've been narrowing it down more and more, and so there's one that I really like, and then I found one on Instagram that a guy built, and I was like, oh, I can recreate that, and that's actually pretty dope. So
I've seen a few get turned into drag trucks, and those things look mean.
yeah, well, and we just
Not
need
that
a
you're
little.
doing that
No,
with
but we need a little house truck. So I'm getting ready to do that same, like in my brain. I'm looking at, if I buy this, what can I do to make it look nice? What can I do to make it clean? Like,
Well, that was
and,
always a thing.
and I've been turned away because I've been seeing cigarette burns on seats,
Yeah.
like big cigarette, and I'm like, I just don't want to deal with that. And or then I think like this, removing the scents and that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited to get into that, because I look at my wife's car and it's just dirty, and I can clean it. It's just a matter of pulling everything and blowing the air and getting stuff and wiping seats down. But
so you're doing the house truck thing, because a lot of people.
But this would be a house truck.
They have like that third vehicle that they just keep at the house for like doing light duty errands and stuff, like a little Mazda B2200 or Mighty Max.
That's all it needs to be.
Dodge D50, S10, anything like that.
Yeah. So I've been looking at everything. I've been looking at S10s more just because I like the looks of them more than, my brother has a Ranger. I can't get a Ranger.
I'm sure you can say Sonomas. Well, Rangers are also everywhere.
But yeah, so just little stuff. But I also need like my wife to be able to drive it. So I want AC. I want it.
It's gonna be an automatic.
No,
probably.
she's a stick girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she was like, I was like, I get a little automatic. She's like, a stick's fine. I was like, cool.
Thumbs up for that.
I thought about getting like I'm still debating. The ones I've been finding are short box standard cabs, and I'd love to get like a short box extended cab. Yeah. So I have like one jump seat for one of my kids to sit in the back because I know they'd eat that up. They'd love that.
Unless you just go the
jump
route.
seats in the back, the ones that remember the ones
where
that
they come in sideways.
Oh, those are the funnest when you're a kid.
You're basically like this.
I always thought it was like the coolest when I was a kid.
Yeah, and that's what I thought. I was like, oh, my kids will dig this.
My grandma had a Ranger with that when I was a little kid, and it was always fun riding in the back. I thought the seats were so cool.
Yeah. They're horribly uncomfortable.
Like, oh God, that's a
Dane, you can't ride in the back of my.
I wouldn't fit anymore.
Well, they actually they're great for like dogs. Actually, like if you have a dog that rides on the inside, they can kind of cruise in that little back section.
It's a good size
space. Happy with that, It's not bad.
So that's what I'm hunting, but it's fun to get my brain thinking about like, oh, I like this or I like that. I could like, there's some trucks I look and I'm like, I could clean that up. And within a week, put it back on Craigslist and sell it for more. And that's the thing a lot of people don't seem to understand with detailing. There's a lot of guys that do that. They'll hunt Craigslist for deals. If it's a mechanically good vehicle, just detailing it on your own, put a little sweat equity into it, and you could probably get $1,000 more or $1,500 more on the vehicle. Or, there are people that just need to get out of a vehicle. They don't care. They're desperate, and they'll sell it for $1,000. You put tires, change the oil, and maybe replace a windshield. You put $500 into it.
You get yourself a little geo tracker that was pulled behind an RV for years.
Yeah, you detail it and you put it back on, and if Blue Book's still $2,000 or $3,000 on it, and you paid $700, put $500 into it, you can flip. I've got friends that's what they do every month for extra money. They buy a car, they clean it up, that's their month project, and they put it back on Craigslist and sell it. Boom. And then they get another one, and they just keep doing it, and they just pocket the profit and stick with what they can do. But again, you have to find good cars. But that's one of the fun things about detailing is you can, you have that capability. It's a job that a lot of people can do.
Well, and compared to other vehicles, a truck would, in my mind, be easier to clean because there's less interior
it's a smaller
area to work with, and the bed is pretty straightforward and that kind of stuff. And they're usually mechanically simple to work on.
Some of them are,
cases,
Yep.
As long as it doesn't have anything crazy going on.
Yeah, but you can do a lot with them, and that's that's just something that. So I'm looking at that. So it'll be interesting to see. We've got to diagnose your car still again, like just double check and see like if there's any smells, if there's anything that we want to.
I'm pretty sure I would have noticed smells at this point.
But we do have a new odor neutralizer.
It's true. We've got the enzyme deal, so that
we've got that. And then we've got something that we're going to be playing with that was given to us.
Right.
So Simonize actually gave us one of their new Santa tabs to play with. So Tom Palancia, Simonize hooked us up with one of those. So that'll be fun. We actually hooked us up with 4.
Well, now we got it.
So we can do 4 cars. But apparently it removes everything so much so that they're one of their biggest purchasers of their Santa tabs are hospitals.
Huh.
Oh, wow.
And hospitals will do that in surgery centers. After they've cleaned everything, they send the team in to clean.
Yeah.
Then they release one of these off inside that room.
To get rid of all that bleach smell and stuff?
Well, it kills any airborne bacteria as well. So they'll clean the surfaces, but then they'll release one of these to actually also take the airborne contaminants as well to prevent infection.
I can hear people typing in right now, looking those things up.
Yeah, so it's a Santa tab. So we've got a couple just to play with. We don't sell them; you got to buy them from Simonize.
Sure.
But
cool,
really excited to try that out. It's the technology on it's pretty amazing.
And that's the thing, guys.
So-
If you ever have like suggestions of stuff, or you know a company that's like they want to send stuff out to try, we're willing to try stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's
I
always
play,
a,
play with things
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We're excited. So good times. Maybe
Yeah.
when we're in Connecticut, we can hook up with Tom. Maybe we can grab him.
Yeah.
Say hi. Maybe we could stop by the Simon Ice Garage.
There's a lot of possibilities
See
on the
what's
East
up.
Coast.
Yeah,
And
'cause
being
we're
in
gonna-
Idaho,
like, we're
we just
literally-
don't run into that.
We're
that
literally
often.
like, what do we do? Where do we go?
Yeah.
Like,
We're just
we have
hanging
a
out
couple
with
things.
Depression era candy. I mean, we're
We're gonna be loaded up with
A
candy from
backpack.
the 1920s. And
Just gonna throw Idaho Spuds at people and like, stop throwing those at me.
we'll have hoops and sticks, and we'll be able to
yeah.
run down with, and
Well,
we'll bring flat caps for everybody.
because whenever I thought of the East Coast, I always thought East Coast like history, like historical, like monuments and things like that has always been like my vision of the East Coast is going and seeing those things. Kind of like if you ever watched like National Treasure, like
Yeah.
that's my
Oh,
whole
yeah.
like
Yep.
that's like my
Well,
whole
you will be
idea
with the Gates member
of
while
the-
you're there, so that's
He
pretty
is
cool.
named Gates,
That's
so.
true. So we might go on a hunt. For
We
the
might
National
redo our own.
Treasure. Define detailer's domain, but
They stole the.
Oh no!
yeah, well
Why'd
they'll
you guys
still
take that? We didn't-
something.
I don't know.
Declaration of Independence is on the back of an SDS sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so that's always been my thought. So I'm excited to see what it's like. So I was just in Tennessee
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, and that was completely different than what I expected. I expected like flat land and not a whole lot. I didn't realize it was essentially a jungle, like a forest.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
wooded.
Nashville,
Wooded.
Yeah.
super wooded. But so that was cool. I'm excited to see this. First time on the East Coast for me. Is
Yeah,
this
me
first
too.
time for you?
Oh no,
Dane?
I've been a few times.
Oh, Dane is well traveled. He's
Well, I mean, not super well.
Let's just say Dane used to travel with his dad.
yeah.
Well, I
for
used
fun.
to travel with my dad for when he did his business trips. Occasionally, I get to go along and stuff. Otherwise, though, it was like school trips. Like I went to New York in 04.
Dane went to
and
some
06.
fancy school called
did.
Capital High School,
Fancy. Oh God,
public
no.
high school that apparently took him
Not even-
everywhere.
they have
Not even a.
what's
I
that
went to a
thing?
private school and I didn't get to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I got
That's
to go
cool.
to
Nice.
Connecticut
That's cool, yeah.
and Virginia and some
Must
other
be-
stuff. But it'll be fun because I haven't been back in a decade. So.
Yeah.
So you'll take us to
Yeah.
all the hot spots.
They
Take
don't know
us
all.
to like, the good food.
Yeah,
the good
I know
food
all the
spots.
things that were popular 10 years ago.
So all of you on the East Coast, we're going to be driving from Newark, New Jersey, all the way down to Virginia to where Phantom Works is.
Yeah.
So we're going to be on a road trip. So if you guys have, literally go in your Google, put in Newark Airport, and then Phantom Works.
Yeah.
And
That'd be a
anywhere
drive.
along that way, if you guys have food recommendations for us, we would gladly take them.
Please send them our way.
Yeah. I think that'll be really cool.
Maybe
I
we'll
don't
live
think,
stream
uh,
stuff from the road.
I have a suspicion Newark Airport hasn't changed too much, though, in that time.
Well, it's good that you know where we're going.
Yeah.
I've landed there before, and it was memorable, but I don't know if it was for the right reason.
I'm wondering if we're gonna go to New York though. Do we have any
It's right
time?
across the river, so
It's right
technically
there.
we can.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Be ready to pay some tolls, though.
we're gonna go over the bridge.
We don't
and
pay tolls,
we don't-
Dane. I
we
think
don't-
everybody
yeah.
knows that we just drive through and try to and
Whoops.
fingers crossed, right? That the flash
No,
doesn't
we're gonna
go
bring
off.
some,
The
we'll
camera
bring some
got you.
cash with us and some
Yeah.
rolls of quarters and stuff.
Yeah.
We'll remember this time. So
Yeah,
we
we're not
know
used to
stuff.
those tolls here on the
Over
West
here,
Coast.
I know there's
we
a few
drive for
areas in
free. I don't know if you
California.
guys knew that, but
We don't really have toll roads over
Yeah, we
here,
drive for
so-
free. We don't have to do that.
I mean, our roads aren't great, but
No,
at least they're free.
They're pretty nice.
Not bad for what they are.
It's
right?
it's hit and miss. Some are great. Others
Yeah.
are, it's a pothole every 2 feet.
yeah.
Well,
I
Not
just,
big ones though.
That's mostly because we live in Ada County.
Yeah.
I just
So-
want to go to New York and take like some really like hype pictures of like me like doing random things in New York.
brushes.
Like brushes and like standing on
towels.
things and like wearing.
Here, I
like,
thought he was gonna say you wanted to do like the most.
We can bring a
touristy thing
backpack because
possible
I
in
think
every
Phil's going to take us
situation.
into the city.
Oh, is he?
Supposedly one of those nights. He's like, "Ooh, we'll go to the city for dinner." I was like, "Yes, please. That'd be awesome."
Yeah.
We'll have fun with that.
Yeah.
I've got a friend in Brooklyn who's just had a baby, so
Hey, Brooklyn.
might
You
be able to
ever
hook
been
up with
Brooklyn?
them and say
You like
hi
sandwiches?
and bring them some towels for
Yeah,
the
like
baby.
dogs.
Yeah, I like dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs is good. Yeah. No, that'll be exciting. Like
So-
maybe some food would be cool. So like whether getting
mhm.
whether they're subs,
Yeah,
sandwiches or maybe like do they have sushi over there? I don't know. You
I'm
don't,
sure
you
they have sushi.
You don't
in
like
New
sushi,
York.
but
I don't eat it.
I can hear all our East Coast buddies screaming through the monitor right now. You're so ignorant.
I know. Well, I'm saying, like, do they? Okay, when I say do they have something, I mean, is it good over there? Like, maybe is there good spots? That
Guys,
I'm sure there are.
Literally, do they have that?
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
I wonder if they've got pizza joints over there.
What?
I hear the pizzas are bigger.
There's a bit of a
in New York.
debate.
Well,
that
so like
rages
New York
to this
style
day.
pizza, that's a big pizza, right? Right?
It's a large. Yeah, it's like a large.
It's flat.
Pizza.
It's big.
It's bigger than a
flat.
medium.
The same. You can fold it in half. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
We have New York style pizza places here. We're not.
It's just not the same.
For a detailing podcast, I think we've talked more about food.
I know.
Well, it's a detailing event. We're gonna have a lot of fun over there. I'm excited. I'm trying to generate some hype for our base.
Yeah.
We want food recommends. If you guys have like historical spots along that route,
Notice
that
I'm
we
not
wanna
criticizing.
stop.
I'm observing.
Dane's very excited as well.
A lot of people don't know that when we go on these trips, like we do all this detailing stuff, but then we have like downtime that we don't really know what to do, and we don't really bring a ton of our business stuff with us as far as like computers go. So we usually try to enjoy.
We do a lot of it with our phones.
Yeah, we try to enjoy whatever we can while we're there. So like when we were in Colorado, when Dylan dropped us off a couple of nights, we didn't really have a whole lot going on. We just hoteled it up.
That hotel was weird enough that it made it something fun to adventure around.
It was far enough out too.
We kind of hung out and just around the hotel. We didn't really go out and do a whole lot of things. So when we're traveling across the country,
we literally have
have
a car at our disposal.
Yeah.
So I think, this year has kind of been the first year where we're really making a go of it, of like actually going out places, traveling.
Yeah, we're doing a lot. And I mean, we're doing
more places.
5 events with Rupes.
I know, it's almost like we're friends or something.
Pretty crazy.
It's almost like we know that guy.
Yeah. So that's fun.
Yeah. And then who else is going to be there? So we're going to have Rupes, then we're going to have Larry from Ammo NYC there.
Yep.
And he's going to be bringing his cars to do some demonstrations.
Yeah, he's going to have the R8 and the 964.
So he'll be doing that, and then we'll be just right across the way.
Yeah.
And so
just the 3 of us in that area, and then
is it just us out there?
Yeah, and we're teasing that Andy Ward and Jason Kilmer might be there as well.
Ooh, those are our friends as well.
Yeah,
it'll be nice to see
to have all of us there.
I've seen more awesome positive comments on the stuff with Jason in it that we did than almost anything else. Like, people just
because
love
he's such
his
a nice
story.
guy.
He's such a good dude.
Can't hate that guy.
No,
you can't.
He's awesome.
No,
you can only hate how good he is and say, "Man, I wish I was as good as you."
So if you run across Jason there, tell him what a great guy he is, because he is.
Yeah, he's awesome. So it's going to be fun because it's like literally all of us are going back east for fun together to hang out for the weekend.
Going back east.
So
it's like getting together with secondary family. It's like a whole same but different. It's cool.
Yeah. So it'll be fun.
Reunion. Cool. So I think that wraps it up, Dane.
All right, guys.
That's about it.
Yeah. Well, we'll catch you next week right before we're about to leave, I guess, huh?
Yes. Hope you guys, if you haven't yet signed up for the business program, sign up on the ragcompany.com. Just type in the search bar, just type in program, or wait for the banner to slide by that shows it.
It's up there somewhere.
It's 15% off just about everything in the store all the time.
You're missing out if you're not doing it.
If you're not signed up already, do go sign up. It's a unique code that you guys can have for yourself or your business. It's amazing. So,
and that goes for somebody, not only if you
don't have to own a business,
but if you're just like the person who does the purchasing for that business.
If you manage
like
or
that.
any of that stuff.
So very cool. Just wanted to make that clear, because we want to bring that up because there's so many people out there who are still learning about that.
Yeah,
so,
that's the best way to get discounts. And we get emails every week or texts. Hey, when's the next sale coming? When's the next this? It's like, well, if you sign up for the business program, every day is a sale for you.
Yeah, basically. So anyway, guys. Thanks so much for watching. You're probably on YouTube on the Rag Company channel. If not, maybe you're listening somewhere, iTunes, shoutengine.com, the Rag Company podcast. So, without any further ado, have a good one.
We'll see you guys. Have fun.